Hey, it's me. I just wanted to do a couple stories today. Um, and the first one is going to be several stories out of the same book, and I might throw in a different one and then come back to this book because I know that this is one of my kids' favorite books. It's called My First Book of Nursery Tales, and it's retold by Mariana Mayer, and it's illustrated by William Joyce. So there are six stories in this book. The Three Little Pigs, The Three Bears, Billy Goat Scruff, The Little Red Hen, The Gingerbread Man, and Goldilocks. So we're going to start kind of at the beginning with Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and I'll try to show you pictures so that you can see Goldilocks and the Three Bears illustrations too. Once upon a time there were three bears who lived together in a small house in the woods. There was a great big bear called Papa Bear, a middle-sized bear called Mama Bear, and a tiny little bear called Baby Bear. They each had a bowl for their porridge, a great big bowl for Papa Bear, a middle-sized bowl for Mama Bear, and a tiny little bowl for Baby Bear. One sunny morning after they had made porridge for their breakfast, Mama Bear said, "Let's go for a walk in the woods while we wait for our porridge to cool." They set out together, leaving their door unlocked since they were good bears and thought that everyone was good too. But while they were gone, a little girl who lived on the other side of the woods came along. She was named Goldilocks because her hair was the color of gold. When she saw the pretty little house, she said, "I wonder who lives here." Hopefully you can see the pictures. I'm going to move that table a little bit. First, she looked in the windows. Next, she peeked in the keyhole, and then, seeing that no one was at home, she opened the door and walked right in, for she was not at all a well-brought-up little girl. On the table she saw the three bowls of porridge, the great big bowl, the middle-sized bowl, and the tiny little bowl. The porridge smelled delicious, so Goldilocks just helped herself to it without waiting to be asked. First she tasted the porridge in the great big bowl. "Oh, this is too hot," said Goldilocks. Next she tasted the porridge in the middle-sized bowl. "Oh, this is too cold," she said. And then she tasted the porridge in the tiny little bowl. "Ah, this is not too hot and not too cold, but just right," she said, and she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks looked around the room and saw three chairs, a great big chair, a middle-sized chair, and a tiny little chair. She felt tired from her walk in the woods, so she sat down in the great big chair. "This chair is too hard," Goldilocks said. Next she sat in the middle-sized chair. "This chair is too soft," she said. Then Goldilocks tried the tiny little chair. "This chair is not too hard and not too soft, but just right," she said, and she began to bounce up and down. Suddenly there was a crash and a bang! The tiny little chair broke into pieces and Goldilocks fell to the floor. She picked herself up, kicked the broken chair, and walked into the bedroom. What's going to happen next? It had three beds, a great big bed, a middle-sized bed, and a tiny little bed. As soon as she saw the beds, she felt sleepy, so she climbed up onto the great big bed. "This bed is too hard," Goldilocks said. Next she tried the middle-sized bed. "This bed is too soft," she said. Then she sat down on the tiny little bed. "This bed is not too hard and not too soft, but just right," she said. Goldilocks crawled under the covers without even taking off her shoes and fell fast asleep. The three bears soon returned home for their breakfast. Papa Bear looked at his bowl of porridge and began to growl. He saw his spoon standing in the porridge where Goldilocks had carelessly left it. "Someone's been tasting my porridge," Papa Bear growled in his great big rough voice. Then Mama Bear looked at her bowl and saw her spoon standing in it. "Someone's been tasting my porridge," Mama Bear said in her soft, middle-sized voice. Baby Bear looked at his bowl. "Someone's been tasting my porridge and has eaten it all up," Baby Bear cried in his tiny little voice. Can you see? Then the three bears looked around the room to see if anything else was missing. Papa Bear saw that the hard cushion on his chair was not in its right place, and he began to roar. "Someone's been sitting in my chair!" Papa Bear roared in his great big rough voice. Mama Bear saw that the soft cushion on her chair was all flattened down. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," Mama Bear said in her soft middle-sized voice. Then Baby Bear saw his chair and began to cry. "Someone's been sitting in my chair and has broken it all up," cried Baby Bear in his tiny little voice. Then the three bears went into the bedroom to see if someone was there. Papa Bear saw that the pillow and blanket on the bed were all crumpled up, and he began to roar. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," Papa Bear roared in his great big rough voice. Mama Bear saw that her pillow and blanket were flattened down and out of place. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," Mama Bear said in her soft, middle-sized voice. Then Baby Bear saw Goldilocks fast asleep in his very own bed. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and there she is," Baby Bear said in his tiny little voice, which was so sharp and shrill that it awakened Goldilocks. She opened her eyes, and what did she see but the three bears staring angrily at her. "Grrr!" Papa Bear growled in his great big rough voice. "Grrr!" Mama Bear growled in her soft middle-sized voice. "Grrr!" Baby Bear growled in his tiny little voice. Goldilocks was so frightened that she tumbled out of the bed and ran to the window, and out she jumped. And that was the last the three bears ever saw of that naughty little girl.